Hey guys, this is just a quick video to let you know that I have received some reproduction backs from Amtech Systems, and they turned out quite nicely, I think. I got two of these guys. These are backs for the RCA 630TS. Got one for each of my sets. Also got one for my recently acquired 721TS. That's on the back porch. I'll show you in a moment. Now those items are stock items. But this is the one I was most interested in getting. This was a custom back for the Stromberg-Carlson TV12. Turns out one of the guys at Amtech Systems has a TV12 with the original back, and he fabricated one for me using that as a template. What's especially nice is that unlike these guys, which are perforated sheet metal, this one is also louvered, and they did a nice job. It's also heavier gauge steel. They did a nice job of doing the louvers. And he also sent me a little bracket that goes on there to hold the AC cord, like the AC interlock. So, these sets I can't quite get at right now, but I can get at the 721 pretty easily, so I'm going to try putting that back on that set and see how it fits. Okay, so here's the 721. I got that recently in a batch of sets along with the 621. If you recall, both of these have bad picture tubes, but I recently found a replacement for that guy, and for this guy it's just a standard 10 BP4. It's a fairly common picture tube. I've got a couple spares I can use, and here's the back for it. So just like the others, perforated sheet metal, steel in particular, and it's been painted flat black. And I do believe it goes on like so. That hole there being so you can get a tool through to the high voltage cage and make that width adjustment. And a little notch there should allow for the antenna connections, which apparently is missing in this set. You can see there's some holes there. I think there's supposed to be a little bracket here with two screw terminals for the antenna lugs. I'll have to come up with something for that. I can just see from holding this up that the screw holes appear to line up fairly well, so I'm going to grab some brass wood screws and try putting this on and see how it fits. Alright, the holes lined up perfectly. They obviously had an original to use as a template. Now I was going to use brass, but it turns out all the brass screws I had were a little bit too big. The reason I use brass usually is that they won't corrode. But I found some galvanized steel that fit fairly well. I ran out of those though, and then I had a few old ones. And this is probably what they used originally, which are steel with some sort of black coating on them. So I'll hunt around hardware stores and try to find something either closer to that or maybe get some more steel galvanized screws. Regardless, back fits perfectly. Looks just like the original, so I'm quite happy with it. Then if you go to their website and look at the prices and think, oh, that's an awful lot of money, consider this. Where else are you going to get one? I mean, you're not going to buy a sheet of metal and drill all these holes yourself. That'd be an insane amount of work. And like I said, this matches the original perfectly, so I'm quite happy with them. I also dug out the 630TS cabinet for the set that I'm slowly starting to restore, and just temporarily tacked the back on. I say temporarily because the screws I have are a little bit too big, but it fits fantastic as well. So that just leaves the Stromberg-Carlson back to try out, which I'll do at another date when I can actually get to the set, because right now it's a little bit buried. And one last thing that just showed up. It is a 5AXP4 test CRT. I already have one, although mine's kind of scratched up and worn out, but this one I especially wanted because it's got the original box, which I think is pretty nifty. Too bad the carrying handle broke off up on top. There would have originally been a handle like so, so you can carry it around on service calls. And here is what it looks like. So you see me use a rectangular test CRT on that GE set recently. Well, this is what you use on the old round black and white sets. So for example, when I want to work on this 621 TS or this 721 TS, I'll use this. Not only does it save weight, but it's also, you can put the very hard to replace full-size CRT out of harm's way while you work on the set. Use one of these.